Well, good morning to the world again, and to all those that are tuning in on Facebook and all the other social media platforms, which I'll upload later, to our weekly Prayers for Humanity series under the One God, One Religion. So, this ain't going to be traditional. I'm not traditional. My fact-based religion is not traditional, but moving towards this new world, we do need a complete paradigm shift. So you're expecting just a lot of praying, a lot of singing, and a lot of patting on the back and saying how we should go on and and just wish for the best. Well, this isn't the channel, I'm afraid. I'm not saying there's not going to be that part of it as well, but because I'm heading it and I'm a scientist, I take everything in a very methodical, logical fashion. So even in how I approach God, how I approach religion, and even how I approach prayer. So I even did a definition search of what prayer means. Do anyone out there actually know what praying means? Actually, I was asking myself that question, and I thought didn't actually know. Surprisingly, shockingly, right? It's like, what is a prayer, right? Like, have you asked yourself lately of that question? Well, I looked up the dictionary version of what a prayer is. So a prayer is a solemn request or a thanks, gratitude to a deities or deities, depending on whether you believe in a monotheistic or polytheistic religion. So that reminded me of my childhood years where my family grew up. We moved from Singapore, where my mother was. My father's from China, Ningpo, a seaport, and we moved over to England when I was only 6 years old. So, like every Chinese immigrant that grew up in a foreign land in the West, whether it's America or here, or in my case, my family, UK, we pretty much worked in the service industry, the restaurant. So we weren't different. So we were always there in that respect, serving humanity, physically serving, in this case, a fish and chip shop and a restaurant. So one thing I've always learned is obviously that you must satisfy your customers, no matter how rowdy or obnoxious they be. Although I said to you, my patience will stretch at a certain time, but for the most part, 99.9% of human beings are actually quite decent beings, even they're not too smart or whatever. And again, I'm not obviously knocking everyone's viewpoint on that. I mean, you only have to go, again, turn into politics, what happened on the 6th of January to know that, yeah, there are some really weird people in this world. Okay, so, and I think you only have to watch the various other things that I've posted to get my personal view. But again, like I said to you, this channel is dedicated to the Disney stories. So anyway, I was sidetracking. So I've always, me and my family, always been in the industry to serve customers. And one of the things that I was always, well, I wasn't taught, I just basically gravitated to, that if you want to keep the customer happy, you always ask them what they want, and you end with a please. Or you say please and then ask them what they want. But you always start off with please, what was it you want? And then when you serve them what they want, their product, in this case, fish and chips or lo mein or whatever, then you thank them for being your customer. So in a way, that is how I technically see a prayer in the definition in the dictionary, that it is a request, which to me is a please, what is it that you want? And after you get what you want, or in some cases you may not necessarily get what you want, but you still thank your customer. So obviously our customer is humanity, or it's actually the reverse round. Actually, the customer is God, and we are the servants. I hate using the word servant because I hate using the word master and servant. I said that obviously it's not the right content to it. The provider is humanity. So that's how I technically view what the definition of prayer is. So what right now am I in? Well, I am not in the gratitude phase yet, in the thank you phase, because we've not reached the end. In fact, I may argue we're just starting the journey together on this one God, one religion, global unification movement, and this one humanity, one world global social movement, which, as you all should know, but I now keep repeating, is created by Andrea Wen, who's also the master scribe to the God manuscript. So in this prayer, I am not yet here to send out gratitude, to send out thanks, because we've barely started on our journey on serving humanity, on serving God. And yes, I am here to serve humanity. Yeah, people may see me as rather rude and obnoxious at times, but and you say, well, you haven't exactly learned from your service day, right? Well, sometimes people need to kick up the backside, to be honest with you, to like saying go, the truth hurts, and it's for me to serve humanity by delivering knowledge and truth. And sometimes, quite often, the truth is just painful. So I am not in the gratitude phase yet, the thank you phase, because we've not yet reached close to the end of our goal, close to what we are serving, at least for me. So for me, I am in the please, what is it that you want? Now, I know what God wants because God's delivered me the knowledge, which you can read in the God manuscript, the new mathematics, the new science. Yes, I arrogantly think I'm one of, if not the smartest guy on this planet, but even smart guy like me couldn't conjure up those cosmic mysteries. To me, like the famed Nikola Tesla said, he got his inspiration, his knowledge from far beyond, and I genuinely believe that as well. So to me, I know what God wants because God's given me the great power of knowledge and truth. I describe it as I have the knowledge, the shield of knowledge, and I have the sword of truth. So what I'm now in the midst is finding out what humanity wants. Now that is still an ongoing question. Not what I want. I know what I want, but I want to know what humanity wants now. So I'm asking you, humanity as the customer of mine, please, what is it that you want? So this prayer and the ongoing prayer in this session is pretty much a request, a solemn request. And that is what I'm going through. And I'm listening. I'm listening to, and regrettably, since obviously, again, I don't need to tell everyone what happened last year. Again, we don't need to go into the darkness. Like I said, we're here to approach the light. So I have heard, and I still continue to hurt, and it's painful. Not for me personally, because like I said to you, I'm surrounded by loving family, surrounded by loving friends, surrounded by very knowledgeable and very hardworking colleagues of mine who are dedicated to the same mission goal. So I count myself as being blessed, but unfortunately, most of the world is not like that. And through all the social media platforms that I obviously am on, I get to hear the pain and the suffering from the world. And like I said to you, I only wish I could take one loaf of bread and do a miracle and feed the entire world, but I'm just a man. And as a man, I have all the weakness and fragility of a human being, So the best I can do is use this platform to listen to what you want, So please tell me what you want, and I will endeavor to work to that. But I cannot do it alone. That's why I created this art collective, this global alliance. I cannot do this alone. Okay. So, but together we can achieve greatness. Together we can do phenomenal things. And I'm blessed, like I said to you, to walk this path with many equally gifted, equally soulful families, friends, colleagues, strangers, acquaintances that wants to go down this righteous, good path that I genuinely believe I'm treading. So together we will endeavor to try to serve humanity, those that want to be served goodness and righteousness. There are those that just want to be downright evil and nasty, you know. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't help you. I'm not good at that. Yeah, I can be very loud and obnoxious, but in a good way, you know, in a good way. Because, like I said, sometimes people do need to kick up the backside in a good way. So today's session is that prayer, is that I am praying and saying my ultimate service to humanity. Please tell me what you want. And I have listened over the past 59 years of my life, and it's intensified my focus over the past 3 years, beginning 2018 on my journey to God, then 2019, my journey of God, and now 2020, last year, my journey by God. And now it's the coming new world. So now I have listened, I have digested, and with, as I said, my fellow kindred soul, we will hopefully start delivering the goods, the products that humanity desperately needs to go out of this darkness into the light. And hopefully when we reach that point, then the final part of what a prayer is. And a prayer is gratitude and thanks. So let's hopefully reach that point that we can thank God, thank ourselves, thank our loved one for this lightness that's going to come to this world. But only for those that are willing to work hard. It's not going to be easy. Tread the painful road, but keep the faith, learn the facts, the knowledge, and the truth, and you will get there with the rest of us. Okay? So, God bless you all, and I'll see you again soon.